Hello fellow bookworms, it's Katie. So today I want to talk to you about Spellbooked by Joyce and Jim Lavene, which is the first in the Retired Witches mystery series. Okay, so let me preface this. This book is just overall very bad quality, very bad writing. It's all a little bit ridiculous, but let's get into the plot. We have three witches, Molly, Elsie and Olivia. They want to retire. The three of them form a coven together, but before they can retire they have to find replacements for them to inherit their spellbook to new witches. So since none of their children has any magical abilities, they are forced to look for, witches outside of their own families. Matters get further complicated when Olivia gets murdered and the two left, Elsie and Molly, suddenly find themselves as a target and their spellbook gets stolen, and there's also Witches' Council involved in things, kind of, and the police, and they have to find a killer of their friend. So I said this was all very bad quality. While I was reading I was feeling very frustrated for about 100 pages because I could not figure out why I did not like this book, and then it dawned on me, okay, like it's not me, it's just the book, it's a little bit ridiculous. What tipped me off, in the end, was the characters. The characters are all so inconsistent. I can't get a real hold on them. Established traits are just immediately neglected for the sake of creating a comedic moment, which, most of the time wasn't that funny in the end, so what's the point? Because of their inconsistent characters I wasn't able to form any kind of bond with them, and thus I didn't care what happened to them. It was very melodramatic because all the time there would be something that was unsolvable and the end of the world, and that would be just passed over in the next moment, and it just was very ridiculous, like I said. So let's move on to the plot, which was just quite as melodramatic as the characters themselves. There was an attempt of, constant high stakes to grip the reader, but that was all a little bit undermined because of the lack of consequence. There was no consistency, there was no consequences to actions, so I don't even know, you guys, I don't even know. There was a pretty ridiculous formula to the plot. So there would be an unsolvable problem. There would be an attempt to solve this problem, which would be followed by immediate failure. Then the characters would come up with a new magical solution to solve this problem, even though it would have been the logical thing to do in the first place. So, yeah, not impressed. Let's talk about the world building, which was also pretty lackluster. There were a lot of info dumps, but despite that, I still have no idea how the world actually works. I don't know how does the magic system work? How does the Witches' Society work? I don't know. It's not in the book. We only get descriptions of things that are immediate to the plot, which, makes the solutions a little bit cheap and feels a little bit like cheating, because you can basically pull anything out of a hat and, just present it as a solution to this problem that we have tried to, solve already. But because there are no limitations in the world, there are no boundaries, I don't know how anything works. So let's get to the writing, which was pretty terrible, like really fucking terrible. I mean, it might have not been the best for the book that I read it immediately after I've read Radiance, which is one of the most beautifully written books in the world, and then I've read this, and it just was so clear that this was such less quality. The writing is pretty simple and repetitive. At one point I counted 12 I then ... sentences in a row. No. Just no. I refuse to believe that an editor saw this text before it was published. I can't imagine that happening. So my personal thoughts and opinions. It's all a little bit ridiculous, After I was that irritated after 100 pages, I thought, oh well, this is going to be a little bit of a trash read now, is it? And then from that point on it was okay, because I just poked fun at the, bad quality writing. Needless to say, I can't recommend this book because it's just bad quality, and I don't want you to suffer through that. I gave it 2 stars in the end, as in it was okay, because it didn't ignite the flame of fury inside of me. So it wasn't offensive in any way. Alright y'all, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you don't read this book. It's not good. And I hope you're reading something magical and wonderful. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye!